again.
If you hit upload, they will come. All right, it says it started. It says it's live in the top right corner. And then,
Are
Nope.
you using
oh,
your YouTube or his?
His.
all right. So we're live.
I said check your YouTube.
We are
No.
live.
Put Matt Ward.
How?
Just
All right.
what's your
What?
Instagram?
My Instagram is WardM89, but on YouTube you can just type in Matt Ward. What's going on, everybody?
Just put
Um,
Matt Ward on YouTube.
MATT?
Yes.
WARD?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, wait.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So, all right, we got 100 and something 13 people in here now, and we're just kind of rambling on, but 100 and whatever. All right, we're doing a test, y'all. This did not go as planned whatsoever. So let me know if you can hear me, okay? And then Ericka, you talk for a minute.
What is going on, everyone?
And then y'all let me know if you can hear her, okay? And then once we get that going, then we will get started on the stream. So, but I don't know why YouTube didn't let me do a thumbnail. Maybe I just don't know what the freak I'm doing. I guess when you do an event, you can hear us both. Yes, working perfect. Awesome. That
There
is
you
freaking
go.
fantastic. That is freaking fantastic. All right. So for those of you who do not know who the awesome Ericka Burney is, you can definitely go check her stuff out in the description. I did link your YouTube and your Instagram down below, so people can check out the description.
Awesome. Thank you.
And hold on, I'm trying to read some stuff. Anyways, so my original plan was going to kind of just like talk with you for a few minutes, and then we can get into the Q&A with everybody else. But I guess if you want to take a few seconds to talk about yourself, who you are, you're doing your drill sergeant thing right now and all that jazz.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm just an E5 sergeant, going through or being a drill sergeant. This is kind of my second cycle. Red phase we just picked up, therefore my voice is kind of crappy right now. I'm not really telling people where exactly I'm at, but some people can already guess where I'm at. But pretty much, my wife's DSL, which is one of the reasons why I became a drill sergeant. So now I'm here for 2 years, maybe 3, depending on how everything goes.
Okay. What's up, Tom? All right, so this is y'all just picked up. How was that? Did the first time that you had your first cycle, were you there for the initial pickup, or did you miss that?
I missed it, and I came right at the end of red phase. So all of the trainees were just like, "Who, who is this new person?" But they just pretended I've been there for a long time. So it was weird because they didn't know how to react to me. But then eventually they're like, "Oh, that's just one of the drill sergeants that just came in a little bit later this cycle."
Yeah, I remember we had a drill sergeant who came in, but it was like the end of white phase, because we had one drill sergeant that had to leave for something, or he was transferring to be one of the drill sergeants at the reception battalion. Um, but but yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you missed the initial pickup of your first cycle. So how was it being a drill sergeant for, you know, that initial getting off the bus kind of thing?
Uh, it's different to actually like see how, because I used to watch my wife do it with her trainees and all that, and I was like, all right, that seems okay. But then actually having to watch them from day zero get off the bus and all that, it's just crazy to see. Not, I guess the word might be weak minded. They are. I don't know, but it's true. It's like some people come to basic training and they think it's going to be easy, and I don't know why they have that mindset of we're literally just gonna like that we'll carry all the bags and all that, like it's gonna be physically tough. And I just didn't believe that some people don't see that or didn't do the research enough to realize, oh, it's actually pretty hard in the beginning.
Yeah, that's I definitely think that's true. That's one of my biggest things that I hate and I talk about a lot was literally I remember when I first started doing videos, some people would say things and they'd be like, "Yeah, I don't really need to get in shape right now because basic training is going to get me in shape." And people have this mindset that uh, it's it's kind of like I feel like some people have the mindset that it's going to be the most difficult thing in the world, and no matter what they do, they're going to fail. And then other people are like, "No, I can just breeze by,
Mm.
um, and I don't have to actually prepare for it." And it's like you really do, and it's going to be the most difficult thing more than likely you've ever done in your life, right? Physically and mentally. So, you know, I'm happy I
Yeah,
don't have to do it again.
yeah. It just came out where, because it used to be where like they can somewhat not hit good enough points in red phase PT test, but now it just came out where if they don't hit a certain percentage, or if they even hit like they get zero on at least one event, then they stop training and they get pushed back to FTU where they need to get physically fit and then get back to training. So a lot of people think they can just wait till blue phase in order to get ready, but now it's like they need to get ready for red phase. They don't pass, then they get kicked back and they're gone. So
That is an awesome change. That's something
yeah.
good for me to know too, because I know that I mean I went to basic in 2015, so it was 3 years ago. So there have been all these kinds of small incremental changes since then, and with that being one, I think that that's really good. Um, and it's like yeah, like if you are one of those soldiers that can't run 2 miles in under 30 minutes when you get to base training, you should probably uh, yeah, be sent to that little people call it fat camp or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's good. That is good. Good to hear.
And it's like a lot of people worry about the PT test, but they don't realize there's a lot more other physical stuff, like having to worry about the ruck marching. That's what gets a
Hmm.
lot of the trainees because they don't realize they have to carry a bunch of weight and they have to go walk for miles and miles, and it's uphill, downhill, have your full uniform on, have water on your back, and just it's that's like one of the physically like hardest part is rucking because they're just not used to it and they don't even think about it before they go to basic training.
Yeah, exactly. I made a video. I don't know if you saw it a while back of how much actually weight you do carry. Like with a 35-pound ruck, a lot of people think it's not a lot, but you
Mm.
also have your weapon, you have your flick, you got your water and everything.
Yeah.
And for me, in my little just test that I did, I weighed myself in just normal gym clothes with my shoes on, and then I put on all this extra gear and stuff, and it was like I think like 65 or 70 pounds, and that's just with the 35-pound ruck. So like people think, oh, it's just an extra 35 pounds. It's really actually about an extra 70 pounds that you're going to be walking for miles and miles and miles with. So for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
So,
up, Archie? Yeah, it's working. Thank
hello.
goodness. Thank goodness. That was for those of you who, for gosh, 222 of you right here. So for those of you who missed the beginning, man, Ericka had to be delayed or whatever for a little bit, and then it was a pain in the butt on this end of the whole YouTube thing trying to get this to work because, you know, it's just a pain sometimes. Now I can't do my little overlay. So Instagram and Snapchat usually right here. Now it's all in the description. So make sure you guys check out Ericka in the description as well. So what was I else? What was else I going to say? I guess I have a few questions later on, but let me look at the chat and see if anybody's saying anything. This is kind of funny. Miles is one of the most awesome dudes who's in every live stream. But do you ever feel bad for trainee soldiers at basic training? So have you ever looked at some trainee, I guess he's getting smoked or for whatever reason and felt bad for him?
Never. I
I didn't.
can honestly say never. Like the only reason why is because it's to make them better, and a lot of them eventually give up anyways. So therefore, they keep pushing. But no, I never feel bad about it because it makes them better in order to get them actually to pass a PT test. Like they don't think that, but if they just do the right thing, then they don't get corrective training. That's it.
Yeah, I know it's really Not all that difficult. I mean, you just do what the drill sergeant says, and you're going to be fine. If the drill sergeant says stand at attention and don't freaking move a muscle, then just do it. But so many people think that they can scratch their face or something. And to a civilian, they're probably like, why can't you scratch your face? It's just like, no, you got to have your military bearing. You got to have your discipline. If somebody, drill sergeant tells you to do something, you do it.
Exactly. That's simplest small instructions. Like, just if I walk away, don't talk. Yes, drill sergeant. You walk away for 5 minutes. You come back. There's someone talking, and it's like no one really tells them stop talking. It's like we have to babysit them. So then, therefore, you have to show them that they did wrong, and then just fix it.
Mm-hmm. So have you developed any pet peeves since in your first cycle as a drill sergeant that you are just like insane? For me, my huge pet peeve is just like your uniform and your PC. I hate seeing people with jacked up PCs and PCs that they're wearing them like baseball caps. I hate it.
Yeah.
I literally hate it. And so that's definitely like my top two, maybe my worst pet peeve. Do you have anything crazy like that since you've been a drill sergeant?
I think the only thing that I hate, and I told my trainees this last cycle, and I think I just took it from my wife, was them like not getting DNC correct. So if they run up to me and go to parade rest without going to the position of attention, I lose my mind. So I think I just got that from my wife because she always yelled stand or go to position of attention, then go to parade rest. Even though it's a simple thing, but like a lot of them walk at parade rest and all that stuff. So it's a pet peeve that I can't handle. I think it's just because my wife always kept saying that. So that's the only weird thing that I have.
Gotcha. Did you say that you were telling people what base and stuff you were at, or
No,
a
I'm not
specific
really.
battalion?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily really telling them. I mean, people guess, and a lot of them guess it correctly, but I don't really say yes. That's exactly where I'm at or anything like that.
Okay, because Kevin left a $5 super chat, and that's what he asked.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Nick Aiken, and if there are any enemy soldiers searching for you in the grass field, you move, you're dead. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But I mean, there's so many little things that they teach you at basic training, like the whole attention to detail and everything. It's really a big deal. Like it's just instilling the little things, and you build these habits. Like every part of basic training it has like a purpose, and it may seem stupid when you're going through it, but it really, really does. Yes, PC is patrol cap. Drill sergeant in normal human mode.
Yeah. I think sometimes people are like, you laugh or you like, it's funny.
Yeah, I know. It is weird. I remember like with my drill sergeant,
What?
we did not we did not have like a relationship past just a professional drill sergeant and I'm a private relationship. And then that one drill sergeant that I talked to you about that came in like in white phase or something. I remember one time he like walked by me, and since I was a PG, this is after it was probably the beginning of blue phase actually. He walks by me and he's like, "What's up?" And I was like, "What the freak?" I was like, "That is the weirdest." Like, a drill sergeant just said, "What's up?" to me. I was like, "This is crazy."
Yeah.
My senior drill sergeant was my favorite. Have you been in combat? I have not. I don't know what has your like experience in the military so far. So obviously you're a drill sergeant right now, but like when did you join? I don't even know some like what's your background right now because
So I joined 2013, and I'm chemical 74 Delta. I only did that for about 6 months in my military career, and then I got to become a combative instructor for my most part in Alaska, and then I went to Fort Sill, and then I was cadre member for a little bit for chemical, doing all the gas chamber stuff, but then they pulled me to be part of the drill sergeant certification team on that end, and then once my wife went to her interview to become a drill sergeant leader, that's when I was like, before I was gonna reclass, but then instead of reclassing, I put in my hat to become a drill sergeant. So all
Okay.
instructor slots, I guess.
Okay. I was curious, and I know other people are definitely curious as well. 263 of them. Good Lord. I swear,
Yeah.
this stuff, it blows my mind still. Like looking at these freaking 264 people. What's the best part of the Army? Well, I think I can do my answer and then you can do your answer if you want.
Mm.
But for me, people ask like, what's my favorite part? Like, obviously, since I'm in the reserves, things are going to be a little bit different. But I think just being a part of something bigger, being a part of the Army as an organization, I think is like my favorite thing. Like that's why I would never really want to get out. And at the very least, I'm just going to stay in the reserves for 20 plus years because in any way, shape, or form, I just want to be a part of this. Before I actually wanted to join, I wanted to develop software for the Army because I'm a programmer. I didn't have a clue what the Army Reserves was, and so that was kind of like my plan. But just my favorite thing is just being a part of the Army. The people in it, you know, in the civilian world, people are flaky. People don't have your back. And it's just nice for me to see somebody else and you have like an instant connection. You have things in common. At some level, unless they're a crappy soldier, you can rely on them. So do you have any comments or anything on the
Yeah,
best of the
I agree
Army?
on that. Like my favorite part about like being in the military overall is like if I was in the military, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. Like the Army actually just brought us together, and then once we met, it's just as if we always been friends. And it's like people you go through schools and all that stuff, and then eventually people just become family, and you can always talk to them from the other side of the world. And like if you weren't to join the military or anything like that, then you wouldn't have met half of the people you've met. So like that joining the military, that's how I met my wife. So
You hit the light on, babe?
no, good. I mean, if you want on.
I was asking you.
I like that. All right, what did this person say? You may not know, but wife is Prego. Can I go home from AIT? I don't know. That was kind of like some typos going on there. Ryan Scarlett, going home during AIT is kind of probably not a thing. If it's your first kid, that might be an issue. But if it's like your second kid or something, I would say you're definitely not going home. But
Yeah, unless you want to get recycled
yeah,
or
and like the only thing
push
is if
back.
it's your first kid, you'll probably have the option. They'll probably say, "Hey, you can go home, but you're gonna get recycled, and when you come back, you're gonna have to start over," kind of thing. So and then we got M Thompson. Same thing. I asked you, LT. Has Drill Sergeant Hill trained any National Guard soldiers who have been to RSP drills, and did their soldiers perform better than an average soldier?
Yeah, we have some National Guard and reserves. There are actually like a bunch of them, but no, they're like exactly kind of the same as active duty, so not that great. And but the thing is like if they come and they don't do well at all with their PT and all that, then we talk to the National Guard and Reserve liaison and we tell them, hey, this is their PT score, and then they'll go back and call their unit or whatever at home and be like, why did you send us a soldier or trainee that couldn't pass a PT test? Because now we have to wait and push them back or whatever they have to do with them, because it's way different than having to deal with active duty.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is definitely true. Archie says, "Don't know about y'all, but I like the food." Oh my goodness. Trying to read these comments. When are the dates normally for the December break? I don't know if it's the same one every year, but whenever I graduated AIT, it was December 16th, and the fall break was December 18th. I don't know if that's the same every year, though.
I think it changes up.
Probably
Not,
just a couple of days or something, I guess.
yeah,
I
just a
don't know.
few days really.
Oh, met her wife in the military. The Juggernaut says, oh. Matt, I sent you 2 super chats. Please look at them. Dark Hill Hoof. I don't know how to say that name. I can't look at the with the Google Hangouts thing. I can't look at all the super chats. Like if I miss them, then let me do this. Let me
I
get
think
some.
he wrote, I'm joining National Guard as split year. How do they pick where you go for basic if you're split? I want for still also shout out for my new channel. Yeah, I don't know. That's all to the recruiters. But if you do fail and you're split ops, then you might have a chance to come back. But if you come back and you fail again, then you probably will get chaptered out.
Super chat. I just saw it. Okay, that is good. What did Luke say? Luke, you see affected your. All right, so that's a question for Luke. You see his super chat?
Yeah, Ericka has been. It really hasn't affected me at all, to be honest, because that's not the main thing. Like people ask about or talk about. That's not something people ask. So when they do find out, they're just like, oh. I mean, as long as if you're asking for yourself or anything like that, as long as you're squared away, it doesn't become a problem at all. It really doesn't. Like I've never had to deal with anything, and I've been in for almost close to 6 years now.
Yeah, I've had some people ask me like about that for them,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of just like, I don't think it's as big of a problem as people think it is.
Not. I mean, it's.
I mean, obviously there might be some people out there that are stupid, but you know, it's the Army. We're all wearing green and everything, and it's just like
Exactly.
I always feel like if you can do your job, then you can do your job.
Yeah, as long as you don't make it like, if you don't make it a big deal, it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Archie, you ever considered doing social media or public affairs for the Army or any branch? I have not, Archizel. I have not. I don't think I will. People ask me if I want to be a recruiter. No, I do not. I don't. Recruiting is a tough job. Being a drill sergeant is definitely a tough job. I always thought it would be fun for like a week, and then I'd be like, nah.
Me too.
So have you like how has it been? Like you did what? So you've been a drill sergeant for you had that week off. So I mean basically a whole entire cycle's worth. Has it been kind of what you expected? Better than expected? Worse than expected?
No.
Yes
I think
and
the
no?
only thing, like, I have worked with drill sergeants and my wife's drill sergeant, and they always say, you know, you're gonna be tired if you go on the trail. In my head, I'm like, okay. But then actually being on there and just being really exhausted, I think that's the main thing. It's just being tired. Like you're working and you're not exhausted in front of the trainees, but then once you're going home, that's when it hits you, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and it's like, all right, let's do this whole thing again, and it's like nonstop. Like it was fun. Like in the beginning, I was like, yay, and then it's like I'm doing this every few weeks, doing the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, once you are a drill sergeant for like a couple years and you've got a whole bunch of cycles on your belt, you'll have it kind of down, but then it'll just be like, oh, I've seen this kind of soldier before. Ugh. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of them think, oh, I can get away with this, or they don't know how I'm going to be. But the thing is, we've dealt with so many different like trainees that we know the small little things that they think they can get away with, but they can't, because we already know what they're trying to do, if they're trying to hide candy or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Ryan says, for you, how was Fort Sill? I've never heard anything good about Fort Sill, but he's asking you.
As a cadre member, it was fine. I mean, I didn't have to work a lot. But Fort Sill, like itself, it just, there wasn't much to do. There wasn't a lot to do off post either. So we were happy to actually leave. Just because there really wasn't anything there. There's like maybe like 4 casinos, a movie theater. Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So another question for you, which I can add to if you want to or whatever, but from Francisco Rivera, how hard can a drill sergeant smoke you?
We do not smoke any trainees,
Okay.
but we do have corrective actions, and we know our limits, and we can't really say that. I mean, in my side at least. But if you want to go ahead and add more to your side, you can.
Okay. All right. So from my perspective of this, I use the term smoking just because I've always done that. That's how I guess when in my career people have used that term, so now I just use the term. But basically, there is a limit on how much a drill sergeant on how much they can make you do. I believe it's what is it 5 push-ups or something like that.
Depending on what week
On
and all that.
Okay. So like there's these limits, but you can't do, you can't make a private do 100 push-ups in a row, but what you can do is do little tricks on doing one exercise, then a different exercise, and a different exercise kind of back to back to back. And that just kind of becomes tiring. So how much can they smoke you? Like you said, you don't technically smoke. It's corrective training, but theoretically, they could do things nonstop. But I mean, if the privates start dying, you know, like, I talked about this in a video recently where one of the privates left his 249 during the final FTX, like way across the Alpha Alpha. And the drill sergeant had us all sitting there in the squatting position with our M16s holding out in front of us. And he made the private low crawl all the way over there. And this private was definitely not the most in shape in the world. And I think he was crawling like in 1 inch an hour. Like it was so slow. And it was taking forever. You could tell he was exhausted because he was getting smoked during all this. And then eventually the drill sergeant, you could tell, was just like, all right, enough of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much. And then he's just like, get up, go freaking get you up. I remember that. Oh, gosh. But anyways, I'm currently going to the Marines, but I'm kind of worried about boot camp. What is your advice to me? By the way, I've been following your page since January. Do you have any advice to this guy? Join the Marines.
Honestly, take it one day at a time. And the main thing I can tell you is that really, you'll hear it a lot, but to embrace the suck, because after whatever weeks that you have there, you're going to look back and be like, that was actually pretty fun and pretty easy. So as long as you make the best out of every single day and realize it's going to actually help you in order when you get to your unit or something to show your platoon sergeant or whomever it is that you're squared away and focus on the future instead of focusing on how much it sucks right now, then you'll be able to go through it and it'll be easy.
Mm-hmm. All right. KSI or Logan Paul?
I don't even know who KSI is. I know who Logan Paul is. I just don't know who KSI is.
He is a UK YouTuber.
Yeah.
Video game KSI?
Is it video game KSI? Oh, hi, babe.
I don't know if it's video game.
If they're talking about the KSI I think of.
I don't know.
I don't
know
know.
if it's a different KSI. I personally think I found out today. So if you didn't know, KSI and Logan Paul, they're doing a boxing match, and KSI has been doing some boxing stuff. He fought this one dude earlier this year, and he called out Logan Paul. Logan Paul, who is definitely much bigger and stronger than KSI. Something that I didn't know, which is feeds on to more of my suspicion that I think Logan Paul is going to win, is that KSI has only been boxing for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he's going to lose. But anyways, that's enough of that. I've been asked that a whole bunch. It's okay. Before basic, how many miles would you recommend to be able to run, and in what time for females? Heather Hamilton. Did you hear that question? How many miles should a female try to run before basic training?
Honestly, just work on your 2 mile. Like, work on your 2 mile. Like, don't worry about trying to get a good score for your 3 mile. Like, I understand that's like a good thing, but work on your 2 mile. do sprints, do what you need to do to like really focus on your 2 mile, because that's the main thing you're gonna have to need for the Army is the 2 mile.
Yep. So whatever, what was her name? What was her name? Anyways, yeah, I think like the standards are out there. You know, you can Google what the standards are for your age bracket, for your gender, what you have to do to pass basic training. So if you ask me, what do you think I should be at before you go to basic training? Well, I think that you should be passing the PT test before you go to basic training. So your standard is out there. It is written out. So Heather, for whatever age you are, check out that 2 mile score and at least try to beat that. But also don't be that person who tries to go for the minimum, which is why let's talk about this for a little bit. The new PT score, the new PT test. I'm really upset about it because of the minimums.
Yes.
Because I know that, I mean, the maxes, I just want them to make the maxes really difficult because I love something to strive for with this current PT test. You know, what is my max? The max for push-ups for me is 75, and I'll do like 100 push-ups. And so it's just like, that's, you know, not hard. I want the PT test, the maxes to be hard, but I don't want the minimums to be a 21-minute 2 mile run. Like,
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, if I really wanted to, I can literally walk.
yeah, I've been thinking about doing a video of me taking the ACF. Well, I want to do a video of me taking the ACFT, but first of all, I need the equipment to do the drag and carry or the drag and stuff, which I don't have. So that's
I
obviously
might be
holding me
able to
back.
help you with that.
Oh, really? That would be
Yes.
nice. But I was thinking of number one, I want to do a video of me actually trying it and seeing how well I do, and then I want to do one of it was gonna be kind of like a joke of me doing the minimums and just kind of walking up to a pull-up bar, doing one leg tuck or knee tuck, and then just doing a 2 mile run at the end, but then walking for like a minute every lap,
Yeah.
and then still passing, and just because it's just ridiculous for my it's just so bad because I know, and I don't know if you've seen this a whole bunch. It's probably different for active duty. I hope it's at least a little bit different, but I've seen so many times soldiers, enlisted and officers. It pisses me off when officers do this. Like, oh, but when people will go up and they ask, how much do I have to do? And they will do the minimum and then stop.
Yes.
That makes me so mad. And like, it makes me really pissed off because I know with this new test, there's going to be so many soldiers out there that are just going to be like, I only got to do 10 release push-ups. Okay, I'm just going to do 10. Oh, I just got to do a 21-minute 2 mile because I'm not in a combat MOS. I'm just never going to work on my freaking running or anything. And it's just going to lead to the soldiers that need that kick in the butt to actually get that 2 mile time down to 16:30 or whatever it would be, and they're just gonna fall down to being out of shape and doing it, and that's why I'm upset, and that's why I think one of the reasons it's so low is because of them making it age neutral, because right now, there's a lot of people who are older in the military that are in their upper 40s, that obviously don't have the same roles and responsibilities as somebody who's lower enlisted.
Yeah.
Their physical capabilities are definitely not going to be the same. So why have the same standard? I don't get that. I mean, I think the current way it is like every 4 years or something, the age standard changes.
Yeah.
I mean, make it every 10 years or something, but having a 50-year-old have the same standard as a 17-year-old, I think is really stupid.
Yeah, I feel like they still need to do tweaks in the new PT test.
Because I mean, the gender neutral thing I think is fine. Because I think if you're comparing, an 18-year-old male and an 18-year-old female who have the same MOS, the same job requirements, make their standard the same, right? But when you compare two people who have, 30 years of age difference between them with, a lieutenant colonel and Private Snuffy.
Yeah.
Like, that's just ridiculous. So, anyways, let me read the chat here. But yeah, I swear, if they don't change that PT test, oh, it's gonna be bad. If it's gonna be bad. Uh, Avon Jordan asks, "What impresses you most as a drill sergeant?" That's a good question.
Motivation. Honestly, if you have your platoon yelling, saying yes, drill sergeant, like having motivation, not just going through the movements. I think that's what impresses us all. Because if we hear the whole company sounding off every single time we ask a question, something like that, it like makes us feel good. Therefore, we're in a better mood. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and that I didn't tell you to say that. Just so y'all know, on my one video that's gone like viral, 5 things to impress a drill sergeant. It's not really that you're impressing a drill sergeant, like, like, oh, I'm so impressed with you. It's more like it's going to make your life easier and they're not going to be pissed off with you so much. But one of the things that I said is like, yes, showing you're motivated, yelling and stuff, because it's just the little things like that. Because no drill sergeant wants to be training some, trainee that is just so unmotivated. So if you make their life easier, your life is going to be easier.
Exactly.
At AIT right now, and that's so true. Heather, is there such a thing as basic light?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either, so I would say no.
No.
I don't think you can have a gender neutral or age neutral PT test that tests one's physical capability unless the test is literally to test the minimum standard. I get what you're saying, because if you're looking at maximum standards, if you're looking at a human being's maximum capability, males obviously have the advantage. Like if you look at bodybuilders, but I mean, as far as standards to get the job done, I think you can have a PT test that does that.
Yeah.
It's not like we're having a bench pressing competition. Have you done the release push-ups yet? I did that for my Sunday video.
No, I haven't done
If
that.
you haven't, you should try it. I still think by far 10 is still way too low to be the minimum.
Okay.
But it's because you're going all the way down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it stretches your chest
Come
out. It stretches
on.
your shoulders out definitely more. So like the minimum for my age, I think, is 42. If they were to make the minimum 30,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be better.
And you're saying it's just 10 though, right?
Yeah, it's just 10 for the Army standard. So it changes by the MOS, but the Army standard for the minimum is 10.
The crazy thing, it's like it's easy for us, but then you look at these new trainees coming up, and they can't even do like one real push-up yet. So it's crazy to see. Like I can't wait till it does go to basic, so I can see like how different it is. Because then it's gonna be like I don't have to worry about push-ups, sit-ups, and run. You have to worry about 6 events, and like after that, like running your whole 2 mile.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that too much, like, because at basic you're kind of training them, and as drill sergeants you want them to pass the PT test, like the drag and carry and these things. Like, are y'all going to be? I mean, you obviously don't. I don't think you would know yet, but I guess would y'all be doing exercises similar to that as part of PT?
Yes. So there's a pilot program that's going to happen soon that they're going to implement how to get ready for the new PT test instead of having to get ready for the PT test that we have right now that they're working on.
Okay, well, that's sweet. Afro Saxon says, are option 40 enlistees segregated in their own units?
What?
I guess he's talking about it basic training. The answer is no, because not every soldier who you go to basic training with, like, some of them might have an option 40 contract and some might not. So the answer is no, they're not going to be segregated. But it's different. Like if you're a support MOS and you go to basic, you're going to be with a whole bunch of other different support MOSs. But like if you go infantry, it's just going to be some infantry guys there. So that's that. Let's go to these other. Whoa. Just remember, how do you motivate someone to get better at push-ups while at basic?
How do you motivate someone? Make them keep pushing. I mean, it really is on them. Like, there's so many people that will ask Jules, how do I get better on push-ups? And I will literally tell them exactly how to do it, but I can't literally carry them and make them do it. You know, there's so much people that are going to talk and be like, but I do try. And then you'll ask them later on, are you actually like trying? Like during PRT, are you actually doing the exercises that we're telling you to do? Or are you pretending, and whenever we turn around, you get on your knees and don't push?
Mm-hmm. I'm meeting with a recruiter tomorrow. I will graduate with my degree in May. Any advice or tips? I want to be an officer after I get my degree. So are you going to OCS? But as far as tips for an officer, for me, when you're going through OCS and when you're going through RTC, you're going to have all these different leadership opportunities. And because you don't get to select your specific MOS as an officer, that it's actually really important for you to do well in training, because you are going to be graded and compared against your peers. So my advice for anybody wanting to be an officer, whether you're doing RTC or OCS, is anytime you get a leadership opportunity, take that, because it'll look well. You'll score higher on your peer evals and all that kind of stuff. Are there current MOSs you can only do in active duty versus reserves? I believe there is, yeah. I believe there are some MOSs that are only active duty. I don't think there's any. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's any MOSs that are reserve or guard only. But I do think there are some. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I think there are some that are active only.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure about that. I didn't really look that up.
That's one of those things that I should look up. I get all these, you get all these questions, and sometimes I don't know the answer, so then I look it up myself because I'm like, oh, that's a good question. So I've learned a lot more things than I would have.
Yeah.
Has anybody? What happens? I'm sure, because I'm not around a basic training environment all the time, right? So like every time I go over to Fort Jackson, somebody recognizes me. How many times has somebody recognized you as a drill sergeant, if in your unit or in a nearby unit, or if they did, what did they do?
For the most part, I've had like one or two like lower enlisted bring it up, but every time someone were to come up to me, like I get like a message on Instagram or Snapchat. I was like, I saw you, but I didn't want to come up to you. Maybe because I don't know if I look mean or something like that, which I probably do. But for the most part, like when I went through drill school, a lot of people was like, I know you're from YouTube. And then I was called like the famous sergeant. Like it was weird. A lot of trainees that my wife had to work with prior to, at the end, like Blueface would be like, oh, I've seen her YouTube and all that stuff. But right now, like thankfully, no trainee has come up to me at the time I'm working and they're my trainee and bring it up to me. So
interesting. Yeah. One day it's gonna happen.
One day, and then I will correct them.
Yeah. What they come up to you, they're like, Ericka.
Oh God, I will lose my mind.
Please,
I will lose
that
it.
would be great. That would be great.
I already told my senior, I already told my chain of command that I have a YouTube, and they're like, that's fine. They're okay with it. So they're just like, as long as, training understands not to bring it up, or like if they do bring it up, that I'm still going to treat them exactly the same. Like, I don't mind it if they bring it up during blue phase or when they graduate and all that. It's if they try to talk to me in red phase, they will get corrected.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Somebody asked in the chat, what's her YouTube? It is in the description down below. So for those of you who are new to the stream, you can be sure to check out the description of this video. Um,
I only got a few more minutes because I
Okay.
gotta.
That's fine. I don't even. Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
9 o'clock. We were supposed to go till 9 o'clock anyway, so we're gonna close off the stream soon. My cousin graduates Fort Jackson in a month. My question is, how long do we get to hang out on family day and graduation? It's what, like 7-8 hours or something?
Yeah, family day for the most part is like they get there, or the thing is at 9 or 10, and then they usually tell you to come back around 18:30, which is like 6:30, because they have like a small little show, and then they might do promotions, but then family members can watch all this stuff happening, and then by 8 p.m. or close to 9, then y'all need to go away till graduation day. And then
Okay.
graduation day, depending if they get shipped off and all that, most part you get like another full day to hang out with them.
Okay. All right. I'm going to read these 2 super chats. Then I'm going to say one thing, and then we're going to get off of here. Justin, hey, Matt, just want to say thanks. Well, thank you, Justin. I ship in 3 days for Fort Jackson. Oh, shoot. He's going to base training. I can't say what I was about to say.
I know what you're about to say.
my older brother's at Fort Jackson right now, so I was going to say you might run into him or whatever, but no, whatever. That's so I'm 28. We got David Roth over here, the $4.99 super chat. 28. Asian life experience help with leadership roles and basic training. Asking just in case to do with maturity or motivation. I don't think so. Just real quick again before I get off the stream, like you're 28, you're really not that old. And then I think personally, like when everybody's head gets shaved, you look more similar than you think.
Yes.
But as far as life experience, you will be more mature than the 18-year-olds that are there. And then that will probably come out and you just being a better overall leader. I don't think you'll get really treated much differently. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Erica, or Drill Sergeant Hill. I don't know which one.
It depends, because there's some older ones that, yes, they'll listen, they'll learn, but then there'll be some, like, again, 28 is not old at all, but like some of like the older ones will already have their own set mind, and then they won't want to change how they are. So it's kind of a toss up on how they are going to react.
Stop doing super chats, y'all. Do drill sergeants know who the OCS candidates are? Whenever I was at basic, we had a drill sergeant ask if anybody was an OCS candidate. And
Yes.
that was pretty much the extent of where that went. Has it been different for you? Like,
Yeah, we all know, like, we have a full list of all that, all the MOS and all the 09 CRs and all that, so we know who is who.
All right, so I think that's gonna be it for the stream. So if you guys, again, if you have not seen any of her videos, go and check them out. You just uploaded a video today that people should watch before going to basic training, which I think was a good one. I watched it. Really, really good stuff. So guys, if I haven't said it once, I'll say it 1,000 million times. You should really check out her channel. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's why I'm doing. I think this is my first collab, as far as collab with anything, with another YouTuber on this YouTube channel. So that should say something, y'all. That should say something. So make sure you guys check her out in the description. You got anything to say?
Yeah, well, thank you for joining all these like 200 and plus people, and hopefully we'll do it again, like on here, or also in like real life.
Well, I am well, never mind.
But you can say it. It's fine.
All right. Well, I should see you. We should have some personal encounter and do some kind of video soon.
Yes.
So
Tracking
anyways,
what you're saying.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It was freaking amazing. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning, but you guys are awesome. Can't believe we had all these amount of people, but I will see you guys later.